morning, happy Monday. So I am currently, as you can see, in my car, and honestly I kind of always get here a little earlier than I intend to. Like I keep trying to leave later, but I still somehow end up getting here like a little earlier than I necessarily want to walk up to the room. So I usually sit, listen to a bit of NPR, and then at like 6:50ish, 7 o'clock-ish, I'll like go inside. And we don't start until 8. Students start walking up at like 8:11, 8:15ish. But anyway, I am also sitting here mainly because I have so much to bring up today. We are starting DLM testing, which if you follow me on Instagram, and you happen to read the caption, then you know. And if you don't know, DLM is the alternate state test. It is the alternate state test for I'm pretty sure across the US, for those who are pretty moderately to severely intellectually disabled or physically disabled. I could be like wrong in the brackets that encompass that, but long story short, most of my students, 8 out of the 11 of them that I have 9 out of the 12, if you count the homeward bound student, takes DLM. So I am testing all the way until May, but long story short, I'll kind of touch into that more later. I have so much to bring up, because, well, it's just like my normal teacher bag. And then I have this that has my lunch bag in it. It has potting mix because we're starting like a plant unit, and like, what else? I want to have snacks in there because my kids don't eat the meals, so I always try to have snacks for them. And I have so much. I don't know how I'm gonna bring it all up. So, fingers crossed, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to bring everything up and get out of the parking lot now because I feel slightly creepy as people drive by and I'm like sitting in a school parking lot, like with my iPhone out, just like casually talking to myself. But yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs and then we'll chit chat a bit more up there once I get settled in. Okay, let's start this week off. Okay, so it has been about an hour since I first checked in. That was not intentional. It's just been really crazy running around all day for like the last hour, trying to make sure that everything is all set just so we can start testing today. So my printer is working. It was not working all last week, so thank the Lord Jesus. My vice principal just moved some wires around, which I probably should have tried, but I didn't. I was just like, oh, printer's broken, we're good now. And yeah, I'm just making sure that everything is okay. And so the plan for this week essentially is, or for, like I said, the next month or so, is that I am testing all the way until May 22nd every day. And yeah, for the most part. So that means that my kiddos have to be working on things pretty much independently with some help from my aides. So what I have, so like I'm experimenting with different ways that they can stay occupied without getting bored or needing much guidance on my end. So the idea is to primarily have them working on, sorry, I'm moving around so much, have them primarily working on Google Classroom. And let me see if I can show you like my idea. So I have assigned them each different word problems leveled out according to where they are, and yeah, just making sure that they have that. So that's like their math portion of the day. Then they can go on Prodigy, which is like this math game based website, and then after that they have to do their intervention. They're working on their Google Slides project. So all of last week I basically told them like they have to choose a topic for them to do Google Slides all about. It's kind of like a research project, which ties into our curriculum on nonfiction text and research. So tying that in. And that should be primarily like independent work. They may need some help, and that's what my wonderful aides are there for. But yeah, so that's pretty much how it's gonna run. And then at after lunch, when I start doing my science testing, they will be working on their science stuff, and we are starting our plant unit. So we've already like started with plants, but I brought in a couple. So I have the seed version of them that they're going to work on sprouting in here, and then we're going to be using reusable like containers, like milk jugs and cartons and stuff like that, to plant those in. But then I have the already sprouted plants that we're gonna try and maintain in the classroom as best as we can. So this is our cherry tomato plant, and I picked cherry tomato because they're more compact, so I felt like they were going to be better suited for the classroom. Then we have our cilantro, and then we have sweet mint, and I'm trying to debate on what like indoor flower is best, because wildflowers obviously are best outdoors, so I don't know what flower to buy that can be kept in the classroom. I don't know. And if it's worth it, just because like they blossom, then they kind of die, and yeah. So I'm gonna repot these into here eventually, at some point in time, and then we're putting these in here with markers, so everyone knows what plant is theirs, and they're broken up into groups on who's growing what. And this is gonna be our area for our classroom garden. It isn't very big, but it's not, you know, it's not. I think it'll work out. So I think I've caught you guys all up. So there's not going to be a lot of instruction on my part. Sorry, I know that the sun rises on the side of the window, so it just makes it really hard. Okay, so and we're close to the heat, guys. My room and we're gonna make it through. Anyway, so there's not going to be much instruction on my part. It's just testing pretty much all the way until May, and that's kind of the reality of alternate state testing when you are in a room that has a lot of students who take that. I have 3 students who take PARCC, and they often get pulled out for that. So when actually, let me rephrase that. I have 3 students who take PARCC, and during PARCC testing, so in about 2-3 weeks-ish, PARCC will start, and I will be a proctor for that, and so DLM will be paused, and we will be working on PARCC, and then those students will be probably down in the library who take DLM and doing their own thing and working on their projects that everyone else has been working on the entire time they've been testing. So yeah, this is the reality, and this is kind of why I avoided, or most people will tend to avoid, upper grades or like just like really low state testing, because it takes up so much of your like classroom time and focus, which is a little frustrating, especially because I'm coming from an early childhood background. So it's like really like this whole month and a half roughly, that until the end of May, is all about this. And then by that point I have 8th graders and 7th graders, but my 8th graders obviously are graduating, so there's like all these different activities that are going on with graduation involved. So like May 24th we're going to Washington DC, and then it's like graduation practice and all of them prom and all of that. So it's kind of like really like my time to like instruct and get some knowledge in them is kind of cut now, which sucks so much. But I'm gonna let you guys go so I can finish my coffee and just kind of prepare my mind, prepare myself for the day. But yeah, so I'll tune in probably after, like during lunch, to let you guys know how it's going. Alright guys, so you are hanging out here on my computer essentially while I try and eat lunch. I have about 10 minutes left until I have to run down. Just sat down to eat. Like I said, super crazy day. I got done with 2 testlets for my one student in ELA and then 1 in math. So she's done 3 testlets today. They actually finished them super quickly, and that could just be because my kids are a little bit higher on the lower if that makes any sense. So they're not grade level, but the content that's being given to them is a bit I guess it's somewhere where they've mastered that section, so they're able to recall details and stuff like that, especially if the text is recently just read to them. So it's not too rough, and I'm super happy because I thought my lesson on angles was arbitrary, but it was not, because it popped up on the test and my students were getting it. So my other student also did 1 ELA testlet, 1 math, and now she's going to do her second ELA. And then I'm going to start with the 8th graders. And yeah, so testing isn't too bad. And now I have an idea roughly of how it's going to run. So it's actually not really all day, every day. It's more like 20 minutes of a period, so half a period. So I actually have to kind of plan some more things because I honestly thought it was going to be really computer based. But I have a lot more free time than I thought, which is good. Which means more instruction time, but it's just about figuring out how to maneuver that. So, excited for this afternoon. We're starting plans. And that's pretty much it. It's Monday. Not much to report, thankfully. Random side note, my feet have been in pain all day, so I actually have been walking around the room barefoot, which, you know, is a little weird. But at the same time, these shoes need to be stretched out. They hurt so much, and I can't deal with it. So if you're going as teaching, new teacher, make sure your shoes are comfortable before you decide to wear them in for the day, especially if you're going to be walking around a lot, which, face it, as a teacher, you do. You definitely get those, 5,000 steps on a Fitbit thing? Yeah. God. Can't deal with myself sometimes. Good morning. We are starting this Tuesday off in the car again because guess who showed up at 6:45? I really need to start leaving later because initially, I don't know what's happening, but at first it took me a lot longer to get ready in the morning, and it also took me a lot longer to get to school. And I'm following the same routine, same path, but somehow getting here earlier than I want to. And yeah, usually the office workers are there by I think 6:30 or 6:45. I don't know, but I don't really like to bother anyone until 7 to let me in. So we left off yesterday with my review on testing, which, like I said, has been going a lot quicker than I realized. But I had an IEP meeting my last period of the day during my prep, and Tuesdays, as you may or may not know, are my no prep days, which means they're with me all day, which, you know, is good in terms of getting things done, but is also obviously hard because it means you don't have a break, and it just means that you're with them all day, which is amazing. But yeah, so I hate when I see cars. I feel really awkward whenever I see cars drive by. The stupid thing. Ugh, I guess they don't teach here. Okay, anyway, let's focus. So the plan for today is once again testing, obviously. Testing, and I'm finding that there is quite a bit of time in between. So hopefully I get through 3 students testing and do 2 testlets, etc., etc. What else are we working on? Hopefully we'll be planting today. We didn't get to plant yesterday, but because I'm with them all day, we should be able to get that done. In math, we're working on volume, and while I can't necessarily like stand in front of the room and teach a full lesson and just make the day cohesive, I do have like this worksheet that I'm gonna go print out upstairs once I go up. And today I'm actually going to be staying late. Like, I already know I am, and by late I mean like 5:36 ish, to get through grading, because they are due Thursday and I haven't had access to my grade book this whole time that I've been here. So I started in February, it's now April. I finally got access and I finally got all of my core subjects in, so I have to put in 3 grades within each thing. 9 grades per subject is essentially how it's going to be. So I want to make as much as I possibly can in there, because tomorrow is literacy night, which means from 4:30 to 6 I will be occupied, and I have to like print out some stuff for that and make me a poster, collect what comic books I'm gonna bring in for tomorrow, all of that. So today's going to be kind of a busy day. I got my workout done yesterday, which is always good. I like that I like getting 3 workouts in a week, and I found that it could be tricky if I stay super late at school, but I've been balancing it out. So if you're like me and like to work out but also enjoy your sleep, you know, try and like schedule them in where you stay late on like every other day, and then leave a little bit earlier so you can go and get your workout done, or wake up super early. For me, I don't think it'd be a good idea to wake up at like 4 a.m. to go work out. I just don't think I'm gonna be productive. But I'm gonna stop here because I've been rambling for 4.5 minutes. So true story, I have to go up 3 or 4 or 5. I'm on the 3rd floor, so I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. I go up 4 flights of stairs every morning, multiple times a day. At least my butt will look good. Day 2, plants are still alive. Probably should harvest some of this cilantro and mint, although maybe I'll make them taste it. I guess I didn't get to plant yesterday. This is actually a plant that I bought from somewhere, and it has not sprouted yet. I've been growing it for like maybe a week or 2. I'm impatient, clearly. God, I can only imagine how students are going to be. But yeah, they're doing all right. I think I have to water this mint one, actually. I'm going to do that. I'm going to sacrifice some of my water. So, oh, and packed a mug this morning because, but I didn't bring my tea. Dang, I do have some teas here, but I meant to pack my skin tea, and I didn't. Anyway, I'm going to water that plant. Got to log into my computer, and maybe I'll get some grading done, guys. Maybe. Good morning. So I realized that it is actually 9:42. I did not update you this morning, so happy Wednesday. Last night was kind of a rush. I pretty much sat here for about an hour and a half putting in grades, so I left at about 5:30, 5:40 to put in grades. Oh, so longer. I sat here for like 2 hours putting in math grades. So there's progress in that. It's just been really hectic with testing, like I've been saying pretty much the last 3 days. We did get to plant our plants. Let me show you. So here is our, I really don't want to mess with it too much because it's a pain in the butt to close, but this is our kind of greenhouse structure. We repotted our cilantro, our mint, and our tomato plant. Our tomato plant is slightly wilting, but I watered it some more because it said that most of the time the leaves wilt the way they were. It's getting better actually due to underwatering, and I'm just, there's some, apparently I was not watering it well enough. Ugh, so I'm getting rid of all the dry patches and hopefully it perks up. Fingers crossed, guys. But we're gonna harvest our cilantro tomorrow and our mint tomorrow to we're gonna make some pico de gallo and have some chips, and maybe we'll do that Friday. Actually, I might change it to Friday. And then our mint, we still haven't figured out what to do with it. My kids don't really like mint tea, so I don't know why they wanted a mint plant, but anyway. So what's going on right now is it is a literacy night, and I am part of the committee. So my whole station is basically on comic books and how they boost literacy skills and how they benefit students with special needs. And there's a multitude of reasons. Maybe I'll share my PowerPoint if you're interested in it. Here's the thing. I made a poster board and I put it on like near my door so I wouldn't forget it. Still forgot it because I'm just like such in a like robot state in the morning that I just do the things and then I leave. So I'm actually super upset that I left it, but you know what, we're gonna make it do. We're going to I'm making my PowerPoint now and I'm putting in English and Spanish, and hopefully the Spanish translation on Google Translate is all right. I am reading it just to make sure because I understand Spanish really pretty much almost fluently, like 90% fluently, but I can't speak it that fluently. I'm probably at like 70%, 75% if I'm honest. So yes, I'm putting in English and Spanish, and I'm just trying to rewrite those points on here during my prep now. I don't have much time after school, so I really do have to get this done before the end of the school day, so I might have them doing some busy work. I might be naughty and do that because I need to get this done. And we have a PLC meeting after school at 3:30, and then immediately after at 4:30 we have our literacy night. So it's kind of like rush, go, go, go. And so I actually don't have much. I don't know why I'm updating you, but I really should get back to it. So I'll show you guys the PowerPoint once it's done. Like I'll scan through it, but yeah, so that's kind of what's going on today. My printer is not working. Oh, I have to email administration about that. Printer is not working. Oh, but fun facts. I have a new student. So my one student who has pretty severe seizures. Wow. He was being home instructed, and so he is back, and yeah, so that's been interesting getting to know him and figuring out that dynamic. And I might be getting a new aide because of it, because he does need a one-to-one, and I have two aides. One is a one-to-one, one is a shared, and so now she's kind of become the one-to-one aide, and so now I need another aide in the room, honestly. And usually, like, people think that the more adults the better, but that's not always the case. But in this case, it's like mandated, so I do need a new aide. Fingers crossed that happens soon, because it's kind of hard to keep everyone else on track when you have two students who need the one-to-one by them all the time. So so that's another update. Good morning. Happy Thursday. I almost said Tuesday. Happy Thursday. I don't know if this is like an adult thing, a teacher thing, but the week, honestly, like, you come in Monday and you're like, oh, it's the start of a week, 4 days until Friday, and then you blink and it's suddenly Thursday. And yeah, I feel like I've gotten a lot done in terms of testing, but like in terms of structure this week has been a hot mess. But to be fair to myself, didn't know how testing was going to go, don't know how long students are normally going to take or how many tests I'm going to do in a day. So to be fair, I knew it was going to be like that, and there wasn't much I could do aside from every day go home and like figure out what to have prepped for the day. Also, my printer has been in and out of service. So like yesterday it wasn't working, on Monday it wasn't working, but then they got it working. All last week it wasn't working, and then I come in And something that I printed out like yesterday, it randomly like printed out, and I don't know. But it means that I can print out worksheets if it is working. I'm going to test it now. It means I can print out worksheets and I can print out my testlet stuff. So that means that my teacher who is helping me, she's kind of like I don't know, I guess an administrator or something like that for the test, she doesn't have to run up and down the stairs going to the library to print things out. So on today's agenda is essentially more testing. I gave them, I want to start working with money, and even though, yes, we're in 7th and 8th grade, no, there is no money unit. I found that a lot of my students don't actually know coins and like how to count money and how much money to give when something costs something. And granted, like in the grand scheme of life and things, like yes, you could give more money and get change back, but it's having that fluency with value and that is important, and kind of understanding, and like it's just like the precursor to budgeting and stuff, and those are just basic life skills that you need. And I think everyone in general should have it. Like everyone should learn how to budget and how to understand the value of your money and your time and stuff. But at the same time, I feel even more so with my students, they need this lesson because they need things repeated so many times that one single exposure is not enough to really have them have that deep comprehension. And for most people as well, one exposure is not enough. But to start it now in the 7th and 8th grade, I think is pretty important, especially because at 16, 17, 18, they may start looking for jobs and learning how to save up their money and all of that. It's just something that I think we should start introducing again. And some of them do know money, like basically, so of course I'll adjust. But for a lot of my students, like I was selling candy. I don't know if I mentioned this in the other vlog or earlier this week, but I have a candy sale going on. It costs $2 for a candy, and my one student couldn't understand that even though she's getting one candy, it was $2, so she had to give me $2 instead of the $1 for the one candy. Like she was kind of in her mind, I guess her comprehension was because it's one because it's one candy, it is $1. But that's not how life works. Oh, that'd be great. One car would be $1. That'd be everything. But okay, so I actually don't want to chit chat too much because today I want to be putting in grades. So I don't have to stay in super late after school. And I have a prep second period, so I know the sun is annoying, but I figure, you know what, it's Thursday, we should be used to it by now. I don't want to stay super late to put in grades, so they're due Monday at 9 a.m. and I tried to launch it at home so I could grade at home, but for whatever reason, it doesn't work, which is so annoying because I could do it in the comfort of my home in my jammies on a Sunday morning, but that's not possible. So I have to do it here, which means that I have to stay here, and I have the work graded. It's just about putting it in and then adding in assignments where I'm missing, because I need a total of 9 grades per subject. And truth be told, have I done a health lesson yet? I have not done a conventional health lesson in the way that I guess health, I don't even know what their health curriculum is. So honestly, I kind of feel like health and social studies, the way that I teach social studies, which is current events and all that, sort of kind of go hand in hand in some ways, because we do talk about stress and how to cope and all that stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to actually let you guys go so I can sign in, get some grades in, and I will check in with you guys later. Okay, good afternoon. So it is my lunchtime. I have about, actually, guys, I have 20 minutes left in my lunch. What magical miracle is this? But on top of this magical miracle of actually having a lunch period of 20 minutes, I also have a double prep this afternoon. I don't know what happened, but I went to drop off my kids' second period when they normally have electives, at their electives, and none of the teachers were there. So then I had to walk them all back up, and and honestly I gave them free choice during second period because that's my prep and I needed to put grades in. So I was kind of like I didn't think I was going to have any prep the rest of the day. So I was like, okay, you know what, free choice. Well, I knock out some grades. And I did. I actually got through pretty much almost all of putting the ELA grades in. So I just have science and health left. What else? Social studies. What else? I think that's it. Oh, and like this life skills thing, I don't really know what it is, to be honest with you guys. It's like this weird checkbox thing in my grade book, but it's not like real grades, and there's no like life skills curriculum, so I don't really know. I think it's just like commentary on their behavior. I have to figure it out. But that's what I'm going to be doing my last 2 periods, so that means hopefully I won't have to stay late and I can get out of here not at 6 like I thought I was. So that is super exciting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It is going. Good morning, happy Friday. So it's a little bit later than I normally start it. It's 7:37. I came to school at around 7:20, which isn't too bad considering we start at 8:11. But I got here so late because of this really insane thing where I lost my wallet. And there were only about 3 places that I knew it could be. And so I drove to the Y after I checked the car. I checked where the car was parked the night early before we left for my yoga class that I normally go to. And then I was like, okay, no, I had it in the car. So it must have fallen when I got up, and let me trust my gut. And I trusted it, and I drove there. My wallet was still in the parking lot on the ground. Like, it's insane. So I have my wallet, everything's inside. I'm so utterly grateful to the universe for this. But it meant that I started driving towards school at like 6:45-ish. I was pretty much on my way to school. So now we're here. I have a lot of grading to get done. I'm going to ask for an extension. Maybe. Only because I did get access to my grades late. So debating on how much I can get through today. Fingers crossed I can do my grades and get all of it done. Hopefully. I also have Monday morning to do them, so if I can get through science, oh my god, sorry guys, if I can get through science, then I will feel okay. So I don't want to chit chat too much, but today is a super kind of chill day. We're still going to be working on money, but it is a birthday in my room. I have to write in the card. I got my student a card. Let me see. So I got her this card from Trader Joe's, just says happy birthday on it. I'm going to write inside and have my age right inside, and then I had an extra birthday bar. Like, these are the birthday cake bars from Trader Joe's. They're not vegan, can't have them, but figured she would like that. And her mom is coming in after lunch to do like a cake or something. And we're just gonna watch a movie the way we normally do for Fun Friday because they did earn it. And yeah, so I'm also gonna make today double dojo point day because they have about 205 points left to get to their pizza party for next week, and I'd really like to be able to give that to them instead of starting over. So double dojo point day, that's what I'm gonna call it. And that's pretty much it for right now. I have a double prep. I also have double preps on Friday. Second periods are work with me. Second period is a PLC for all the special ed students, teachers, and then last period is their special. So like I said, super chill day. It's gonna go by super quickly, and I think we're going to happy hour, maybe. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna finish eating my breakfast, get some grades in, and I will see you guys in the next clip.